My name is Tamera, and I'm here to share my brother Eric's story because Eric is no longer here to tell his own story. He died of a heroin overdose at the age of 26, May of this year. He started using drugs in junior high, and I watched him devolve from junior high till obviously he passed away. And it started with he smoked marijuana. In high school, he started taking pain pills and Xanax, and he would, take pills at parties and on the weekends. And I would watch it, and I think that I never realized that my brother was an addict. I thought, oh, he's just, partying, he's just being a kid, he'll get it together when he goes to college. And he did try to go to college, and he used his student loan money to buy a bunch of drugs. And he just devolved is the best word I can think of. And my mom was in the hospital 5 or 6 years ago, and my little brother overdosed in her hospital room. And when I got the call from the hospital, in that moment, I knew how sick my brother was. And I think that I had never realized that he was really sick before that.
Wow.
So he was arrested in the hospital and taken to jail. And at the time I told him, you have to get sober. It's your family or it's the drugs. He chose the drugs for a long time. He was in and out of drug court. Finally, the judge said, I'm not going to give you any more chances. You're going to RPF. He went to RPF, and he was there for 9 months. And during that 9 months, he was sober, and he did, really good things. And he got out. He got a job. He was involved with the family. And he was out for 7 months before he died of an overdose.
Wow.
I do feel like for my brother, the line kept moving. Because when he was in junior high, it was, oh, well, I'm never going to do pills like my friends. And when he was in high school, it was, well, I'm never going to snort pills like my friends. Then it was, I'm never going to smoke the pills. Then it was, I'm never going to do heroin. And obviously he did heroin. Actually, he died of a fentanyl overdose. Fentanyl and alprazolam. He didn't even have heroin in his system.
Wow.
But the detective said that my brother had intended to buy heroin that day, and he probably thought that he was smoking heroin. He was a twin. His twin lives in Virginia, and Eric was, he was the best person ever. He was funny, he was so smart, and he was really involved with his family up until the last, year or two of his addiction. Even when he was in active addiction, he still made family a priority. And I point that out because I think that there's societal perceptions of what an addict should be. My brother was none of those things. He was involved with his family. He always had a job. He never stole from me. And growing up, he made straight A's with no effort. He wanted to be an accountant when he grew up, which I don't know what child says, I want to be an accountant, but he did. He loved math. He was very good at it. He was best friends with my little boy, which is very sad. Trent says, Uncle Eric was my best friend. I'll never have a friend as good as Uncle Eric. I don't think that there was a catalyst. I do hear people say, well, it started when I had a car accident or I was injured. My brother never had a lawful prescription. It was just a progression, and he was doing it because his friends were doing it. Unfortunately, something in my brother, he was an addict and his friends weren't. So when his friends were able to stop, Eric couldn't. It's hard, it really is, but you can't let the grief destroy you. It's the only thing to me that you can do is to take your grief and to try to use it for some good. And if sharing my brother's story reaches one person or helps one person, it was worth it. And when I wrote the obituary at his funeral, I found out that his obituary had been read close to 9,000 times. And it just was so, I don't want to say touching because it was my brother's funeral, but it made my family feel good to think that we reached, close to 9,000 people. Like, if just one person out of those 9,000 read that obituary and said, I'm never going to try drugs, it was worth it. I can't change what happened to my brother, but I can use his story to try to save someone else's brother. You can't save them. You can love them and you can support them and you can tell them, I'll never not love you, but you have to walk a thin line because you can't enable them. And with drug addicts, I read something the other day that if an addict is happy with you, you're killing them because you're enabling them. If an addict is angry with you, you're trying to save their life. And I think that that's very true. You can't give in to them. You have to be very firm. I think that society doesn't realize how prevalent drugs are in our society. They're in our schools, they're in our colleges, they're everywhere. Watch your children, know the warning signs of drug abuse, talk to your children about drugs, be honest with them about drugs, and most importantly, watch for the signs. Know who your children's friends are, know if they have drug paraphernalia in their room. Like, don't be afraid to search your child's room and just look for the signs, and you could save your child's life doing that.